Cars are designed to be driven on the ground, using their wheels for both direction and speed. They're designed to withstand the gravitational and kinetic forces that arise from traveling on highways. An automobile is designed for ground travel and is not appropriate for flying in terms of weight, size, or shape. Cars are not aerodynamically built to fly, and their construction prevents them from producing enough lift to defy gravity. They wouldn't have the necessary propulsion systems to achieve and sustain flight, even if they could produce lift. There is currently no technology that would enable an automobile to effectively and safely fly through the air. It seems improbable that a flying car would be commercially successful because it would require a substantial investment in research and development. It is questionable whether the advantages of developing new technology, such as vertical takeoff and landing (VTOL) systems, would offset the expenses. In addition, the building of brand new infrastructure, such as airports, air traffic control systems, and maintenance facilities, would be necessary in order to accommodate flying automobiles. This infrastructure's construction and upkeep would be very expensive. Furthermore, even if the technology to make cars fly were available, the logistics of flying cars would be very different from those of ground-based cars and necessitate considerable adjustments to the infrastructure, laws, and production processes. Flying automobiles would require the Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) to create new rules and safety requirements, which would take a significant amount of time and resources. In addition, developing new manufacturing techniques, materials, and components that could resist flight conditions would be necessary for flying automobiles. It seems improbable that people would be ready to pay the premium for a flying automobile because the cost of creating them would be far higher than that of ground-based vehicles. Flying cars' durability and safety would be a significant issue. In addition to being able to fly in any weather, a flying automobile would also need to be able to land safely in an emergency. In addition, flying cars would have a far higher danger of collision than ground-based vehicles, and a collision would result in much more serious consequences. It's unclear whether current aviation stakeholders would be willing to tolerate the entrance of flying automobiles into the airspace, which would require the FAA to create new laws and safety requirements. The effects of flying automobiles on the environment would likewise be a problem. The noise pollution brought on by flying cars would be enormous, and the emissions they would emit would be far higher than those brought on by ground-based vehicles. Last but not least, it is important to remember that while the concept of flying cars has been around for decades, current technological advancements have resulted in the creation of drones and other aerial vehicles that may fulfill the same function without the need for flying cars. These vehicles are equipped to carry out jobs like distribution, search and rescue missions, and surveying. They may ultimately prove to be more useful and effective than flying cars. In conclusion, there are various reasons why vehicles will never fly. Because of the way automobiles are built and how their aerodynamics operate, flying cars are not now feasible or safe. Flying vehicles' logistics and infrastructure would be very different from those of ground-based cars, necessitating considerable adjustments to manufacture, regulation, and infrastructure. This infrastructure's construction and upkeep would be very expensive. In addition, flying cars' dependability and safety would be seriously questioned. If you liked this video, hit the subscribe button to receive more like it in the future.